Lou, thanks for taking time today.
Well, thank you, Ashley. I appreciate it. Thank you.
I'm always curious. I've been speaking to a number of loved ones, close to this thing that happened, and everybody kind of has their own reason why they wanted to talk about Karen Slattery or they wanted to talk about Georgianna. Why did you want to talk about your dear friend, Georgianna?
I would say because I want to bring a human to life. I want her to be, people to know her for who she was, and I think that wasn't brought out at the time.
How close were you and Georgianna?
We spoke every day on the phone. We were very close. We were both divorced at the time, and we had children, and so there was always something in commonality that we always were discussing every day.
Was Georgianna your best friend?
Yes, she was, absolutely.
You were both mothers. You were both single parenting at the time you were close. Tell me more about what made your friendship so special.
I think it was her personality. She had a lot of love, and her personality was, if you saw her, she had a smile that just went from ear to ear. And she was a very warm, kind person. But I think she was such a good mother to the children. You just had to fall in love with her. You absolutely did.
Tell me more about what kind of mother she was.
Her children came first, always. I think one of the last things I do remember is we all went to Disney World, and it was a really big thing. And we were 3 single mothers with our children. We got one room, and so we had kids all over the place, and we just had a blast, and the children had a blast. And it was such a great memory. I'm really glad we did that.
I'm glad you have that memory, right? Mm-hmm. What kind of friend was Georgianna?
She would do anything for you. She'd give you the shirt off her back. I mean, she just was kind, extremely kind.
You spent time with Georgianna on the day she died.
Yes.
Tell me about the day. Tell me how you spent time together that day.
Okay, it was many years ago, and we were talking, and I had HBO. She didn't have HBO at the time. So I said, come on over. There was a Barry Manilow concert on HBO. So she said, okay, it's just be an hour. So she drove over to my place, and it was Memorial Day weekend, and it was raining really hard. And so we watched the concert, and she all day had been painting. And so when she came over, she said, I need a break from this painting. I said, okay, great. So we watched a concert, and she left. And when she went home then it was a totally different story of what happened at that point. But we had a good time together. We really did. But I was the last one to see her.
I know it was a long time ago. Does anything stand out to you that day when you spent time with her? Is there anything she said, anything she did that just really sticks with you?
Well, it was an interesting time. First of all, because there had been another murder, Karen Slattery. We had talked a lot of times about it. She had worked at the time for the architect firm Slattery, and so she sort of knew the family. And she went to Pope John Paul High School, Karen did, and my daughter did too. So, we talked a lot about it and how awful of a thing, the thought of losing a child. How do you deal with that? And so it was the circumstances of how it happened, for her too, to have the same person, it just, it just is, it's so eerie. Georgia was only 4'11". She was tiny little person. And my feeling was always that he was not a big person either. He had to have been stalking or seeing her either go in the house or something to know, to go in there, that she was in there. There was just something there, very strange.
Your daughter was friends with Karen Slattery.
Yes, they both attended. They were freshmen at Pope John Paul High School.
And let me make sure I'm clear on this. Georgianna worked for the Slattery family?
It was like it wasn't the direct family. It was, I don't know if it's a cousin or what, but there was a relationship there.
Got you. Some kind of work relationship, not with the immediate family, right. But I see. Tell me about any conversations you had, first with your daughter. when Karen was killed. Tell me about the conversations with your daughter about that.
That was, I think at that time at Pope John Paul, everybody was sort of bonded together. You know, it solidified friendships and relationships. People were watching out for each other at that time. Nobody knew if they had, you know, who had done this. It wasn't until after Karen's murder that they actually, you know, found him. And at that point, everybody was scared because they didn't know what was going on. So it was a difficult time, I'm sure, for the kids at school.
From what I'm hearing, it just rocked the entire school community, the entire broader community too. Do you remember conversations you had with Georgianna about Karen Slattery's death?
Yes, and I would say the main thing was the loss of a child. You know, how do you bear that? I mean, it's the worst thing you could go through. So, and how it would have happened, that he would have, you know, picked her at that time, it was just very unusual.
And you were both mothers at the time. What else do you remember? I just find the connection, I just find it so eerie that, you know, there you were, you know, at one point talking to your daughter about, you know, this connection to this first murder, and to Georgianna, your best friend, about this. Do you remember anything in particular she said, Georgianna, about Karen Slattery's murder?
I think it was just the main thing was basically about losing a child. That's, you know, that was, I would say that, and how you would deal with something like that.
How did you learn of your best friend's death?
I was at work. I was working at a law firm, and I got a phone call from the police, and they called me and they told me, and I was like, I said, was it an automobile accident? Because it was raining so hard that night. So I thought, oh, she must have been in an automobile accident. And then they said no, and so anyways, I said, what about the children? That was my first thing. And so I left right away and went to her house because the children were there. And the next door neighbor was a pastor. The girls had gone to the pastor's house. The girls found her in the morning, so that was the worst part of it, you know, was that. And her parents, or the grandparents, I should say, were in Orlando, and so we got in touch with them. They came home right away and everything, and helped out with the children.
I know it was a long time ago, but how do you remember, you know, feeling at that time and in the days, the weeks after this happened? I mean, how does that news hit you?
You know, she was probably the happiest she had been in a long time. So that was one thing that made me feel good, was that she had just met somebody and she was so happy, and we would talk about it, and he was a really nice guy, and you know, she didn't date many people, but this was special. This was very special. So I was very happy that she had this opportunity to find some happiness before this happened. You know, it was very special.
I'm glad that you shared that she had found some good joy, you know. Mm-hmm. Before Dwayne Owen was caught, did it enter your mind at any point that it could have been the same person again, that this person you talked to Georgianna about, this person you talked to Karen, did it cross your mind, oh, this could have been the same person, or was it not until Dwayne Owen was caught that you had any sense of that?
I never ever would have thought that. I never even suspected anything or thought of that in any way. And when the police came that night, after they said that after the day had happened, I should say, when they came to my house, they were detectives, excuse me, and they were asking me questions, like what was she wearing? Did she have jewelry? Could it have been a robbery? I mean, they were asking a lot of different questions, so I really didn't know, and all I said was she didn't wear much jewelry. She was a very natural person. And so I said no. I said it couldn't have been a robbery, and there wasn't any sign of that at the house or anything like that. So we were all scared, who was this person? Could he have seen her leave my house? Could he have been, was this a random thing? We didn't know. All we knew was that fear of who was this monster that did this.
I hadn't even thought about that. Yeah, you'd seen her on that very day. It did cross your mind, had he traced her to your house? And, it really just cuts to your personal safety too, on top of like losing your best friend. I can't even imagine what all of that felt like on top of each other. When you learned that the person had been arrested, that authorities said murdered your best friend, take me back to that time when you heard the killer had been caught.
Well, it was interesting because they caught him pretty soon afterwards. He was leaving town, I think, right after, and they caught him, but they didn't tell us. So we didn't know for about a week. So that was something that was scary, because for that, as a matter of fact, I had my brother at the time stayed with me for a while because I was scared. I didn't know who this person was and, what could happen. So I would say at that point it was just something that you deal with it. You just have to deal with it, but we didn't know. We didn't know.
You testified in court.
Yes.
What was that like, knowing you were going to be in that courtroom speaking in the presence of Dwayne Owen? What was that like for you?
Well, it was interesting. I've never been in a courtroom and testified. I couldn't look at him. There was no way I could actually look him in the eye. So I pretty much just sort of looked away, basically introduced the evidence. I knew George and I had talked. She'd been to the library. She'd gotten this book, and that was the book that they found the fingerprint on. So it was one of those things where, they were trying to put other ideas in there, but it was a very difficult thing where I just didn't want to see him at that point.
At any point, did you catch his eye? Do you remember? I know you tried your hardest to look away, as is very understandable. Did you catch his eye at any point?
When I walked out, I looked at him and I realized he was not a big person. So he couldn't have taken on a bigger woman. And I think that was one of the things, because she was so petite, that he could overcome her. He also startled her too, though, so that I think that's when he had his suspects. They were unalarmed about what was going to happen to them.
What was the most important thing that you got across in that courtroom?
I think it was her character. I think that was the big thing, is when you don't know somebody and you're in a courtroom, you want to tell them what that person was like. And they were introducing certain evidences of, well, what about this and that with her character? And, I had first met her through a Bible study. So that right there was something that showed the character of the person. And it was interesting. It was mainly a priest would come to the house, or a minister came to the house, and it was mainly single people dealing with today's lifestyles. And and so it was she just had this big heart. She'd say, come on over, we're going to sit down, we're going to talk about what's going on in the world today, how we're going to deal with it, about our children. And it was something just totally different. It wasn't real structured, and so it was something new, but that was part of her personality.
So glad you were able to get that across in the courtroom. It must have been tough, You were facing questions about your best friend's character, and is there anything you didn't say in that courtroom, or maybe you haven't said at all to anybody yet, that you want to say now, something you want us all to know about your best friend?
That's very interesting, Ashley. I guess basically if people knew her, they would just fall in love with her. She was a pistol. She was a pistol. I'm telling you, nothing got past her by any means. And she was very sharp, very intelligent, and a very upbeat person, always upbeat. And I think that was one of her best qualities.
I'd love to think that Georgianna's looking down and hearing you say that, because you know that's just a fun way to describe her, as a pistol, somebody who's sharp and just the friend you want on your side. How are you feeling with this execution approaching? It's been a very long time. How are you feeling as this date gets closer?
You know, it's interesting because I've never been through anything where I ever knew anybody that, you know, would have gone through something like this. So, you know, for me, I don't know. It's hard. It's hard in many ways. Do I believe in the death sentence? I think there are times when it should be. You know, I mean, it's been a long time, and you know, he had 2 murders, 2 attempted murders. This is not just one thing that just happened that you might say, well, I don't know. No, this was somebody who has problems, you know, and is vicious, and you wouldn't want him out on the streets. So I feel it's the right thing.
When does Georgianna come to mind over the years? Are there certain things that happen, certain things you see that bring her back to mind?
I think the kids and just how she was. You know, she was the type of person where she was so outgoing. You know, certain things didn't matter to her. She didn't care if her house wasn't in order all the time. It didn't matter. The kids came first, and you know, taking care of things that she needed to take care of. And she was very concerned about the children, that they would have the money to go to college. And her house was near FAU, so she always felt that that house, the girls could always have that house, and they could go to FAU to college, and it would be close by. So she always was thinking ahead for them.
Is there anything else you want us to know about your friend Mary Lou? You have just painted such a beautiful picture of her as just this vibrant kind of force, right? And you know, we, like you said, a lot of the coverage, a lot of what we've read about this, you know, doesn't focus on Georgianna. And I think you have filled in that picture for us of the kind of friend she was, the kind of mother she was. Is there anything else you want us to know?
I think she gave me strength through a lot of things. There was just something about her. She was just a strong personality for this little pipsqueak. I mean, that's just all I could say. She's this little tiny thing. But boy, the energy that she had and the pistol that she was, she gave everybody a lot of energy in life.
I know there are no photographs, you were telling me. It just wasn't a time where you took many photographs or had them, but do you feel thankful that you still have this real clear feeling, not just the memories with her, but how you felt around her and about your friendship? I mean, I feel like your descriptions are, you know, just so important, you know, compared to a photograph we would see. You know, I'm really glad you have those memories.
I am too. I mean, I think it from time to time, what if, you know, at this time in our lives, if she was still alive. I mean, I think about that quite a bit, you know, because it was such a special friendship. And I'm just very thankful that we did have the time together.
I'm thankful for you. Thank you for this time today.
Thank you, Ashley. Appreciate it. Thank you very much.